200 euros! 225! For this thing! No way I'm gonna pay that! The stand consists out of the three main pieces: concrete base for the weight and stability, aluminum pipes for the structure, MDF top for the speakers to sit on. Now, when designing something like this, you have to consider a few things: strength, aesthetics, and most important factor, what tools you don't have. I don't have the tools to precisely cut aluminum pipes. Same deal with the MDF top piece. Most people would make a mold for the concrete. That's wasteful and too much work for the one-off project. Instead, I 3D printed a shell that becomes a mold and stays a part of the final piece. Not sure how to mix concrete. Quick glance at the YouTube cleared that all out. I felt educated and confident. I could have measured the exact volume of cement I'd need, but that would require planning, and I prefer more experimental approach. Once the concrete was dry, it was time to make the outer shell smooth. I have sanded the surface, applied the body filler, re-sanded. At some point, I became aware of the fact that I was basically inhaled the half of my project. And that's when I had a brilliant idea. Maybe I should wear a dust mask. Finally, painting time. The shell is made out of the plastic, so I used spray designed for painting car bumpers. I thought it's for plastics. Second coat. I have applied a bit more paint this time, and the result was not as expected. It reacted with PLA plastics. When it comes to properties, PLA and ABS are not the same. The surface showed every little imperfection, all that sanding for nothing. But there is always a solution. A granite effect spray paint. Perfect solution to cover up my failure and pretend I meant to do it from the start. Except the surface looked milky. With drying, milkiness went away. I went back over it with the black, just to bring it back to the dark side. Because of all these different layers and shading, I needed to match it so the end result is the same. Two MDF pieces I cut to the length at the hardware store. I drilled some holes, beveled the edges with the router, rounded the corners, all is sanded smooth. The edges are sealed with the mix of paint and the wood glue, because MDF has a drinking problem. The rest of the painting was the same process as with the base. Initial matte black paint, texture granite coat, black touch-up. And finally, I cut the threaded rods to the same exact plane needed, or so I thought, but we'll talk about that little plot twist in the next section. Alright, let's put it together. There are only 3 threaded rods holding this whole thing together. Simple and elegant. Foolproof. And yet somehow, I have the problem manifested right in front of me. The rods appear too short. That's weird. I definitely measured everything correctly, and I never make mistakes. After some googling, there's only one logical explanation for this.
An extremely bizarre event that seems to be only explainable by a glitch in the fabric of reality.
A glitch in the matrix. I mean, what else could it be? Anyway, Moving on, new rods are cut with the exact dimension as before. This time, stayed the same. Now let's talk about resonance. We don't want any unwanted vibrations, so I ordered some premium German
Spielsand.
The absorber came wet. You wouldn't want it absorbing all those surrounding sounds during the transport. It must be wet. In order to restore its absorbing properties, I had to dry it out. Plain old kitchen oven, of course, nothing high-tech about that. Once dried in total silence, the absorber was carefully poured into the aluminum pipes, not to disturb its molecules. Everything was perfectly calculated down to the last grain. But it looks I won't have enough of it, so I poured slowly, very slowly, so it lasts longer. At the end, I ran out of it. Now I hear you say,
Jeff, you should have measured the volume beforehand.
And you're right, but my name is not Jeff. I have calculated the exact volume, taking into account the shrinkage based on the formula provided by ChatGPT. The formula was wrong, and it is totally not my fault. Again, AI is known to hallucinate sometimes. I don't know anything about hallucinations, honestly. Just after I finished carefully calculating the needed volume, taking into account the material shrinkage properties, now using correct formula, we had a power outage. I thought, no problem, I have a gas grill, I will do it outside. Little did I know what will happen because of that. A new batch of absorber is poured into the aluminum pipes. It is all screwed. I screw it, no, it sounds wrong when I say it that way. I carefully tensioned it to exact certain force. Applied a little bit of
Schraubensicherung.
I cut some felt for the base part and neoprene for the top to help with the grip. And it's done. But it's missing that final touch, some visual identity. If you make something custom, you got to put your signature on it. My friend and I came up with this logo design one evening, under certain influences, artistic influences. I tried few variations, but the one I liked the most was just a clean white outline letting the original surface show through. Classy, minimalist, but also delicate. I opted for a 1mm thick 3D printed plate instead. More durable, cleaner, and perfect for my next questionable idea. Filling the grooves with acrylic paint and sanding it so it is flush. After some sanding and filling with acrylic, and sanding and filling and sanding, I finally sealed it with few coats of clear matte varnish. To attach it, I could just slap some glue on it and call it a day. But no, precision matters, my friend. I designed and 3D printed a custom gluing jig that I will use just this one time, but I couldn't do without it. Now it is officially mine, unique, custom. Despite the few glitches in the matrix, my impatience, all the fun distractions along the way, and my complete lack of focus, the stands are finally finished. As I tested them with my previously mixed tracks, I started noticing some new frequencies in my music that I hadn't heard before. But then I found one tiny issue with it. You remember how I dried that absorber outside? Well, I live in a small village, and just as I finished drying it, some cows started to move nearby, which caused the absorber to absorb the sound of cows. And now in the quieter parts of my mixes I hear... Luckily, the solution is easy for me. I just changed the genre. If you happen to like this design, the CAD files are available to download for free from our website, link below. If you think this video was total waste of your time, you know what to do.